in the 1960s, we were already heavily involved in using the water by learning how to fish, and our parents and everybody around us was sharing that knowledge about catching fish and cleaning them and responsibility. And during those times when we were out in the boat, we could take a glass, dip it into the lake, and it was a really clear blue, sometimes nice and cold, and we'd be able to drink that without any harmful effects. Today we can't say the same thing. In just a matter of a few years, 50 years, I've seen a total decline in the lakes. Whereas we went from beautiful blue crystal waters in our lakes, lots of abundance of fresh water. Now we have a lot of pesticides and allergens in the water, creating things I never saw in the water before, like the algae bloom and the algae growth that's really infested our lakes. Last year we went down to enjoy the lake where I live, and the algae bloom was so thick it made it very uncomfortable to be in there. And not only that, we learned later on that it could be possibly toxic. But these events seem to be like steamrolling. They're building momentum. And that's because people aren't paying attention to the water like they used to, like we did. They're preoccupied with efforts at maintaining, jobs with incomes, pursuing the career thing, which takes their focus away from what would happen if you didn't have all that stuff. You'd need to learn how to use the water again, which we were taught. That's always been a very valuable lesson. So in my lifetime, I've seen almost a complete disintegration of the freshwater lakes in northern Wisconsin due to acid rain. The pollution isn't created here, it comes on the air, and the moisture in the clouds, and then it falls in the form of rain into our lakes. And that's how they're being polluted, because the air is so toxic. So our environment really needs to be addressed. So because of overpopulation and lack of proper judgment by leadership, they forget about taking care of the land and the water. They become more involved in the financial aspects of dealing with the land and the relationship they have with the real estate, the land and the water. Whereas the ecological benefits of thinking for the 7 generations down the road are thrown completely out the door in exchange for profits that can be made readily and easily to satisfy political goals or ambitions, and not really thinking about long-term consequences of actions. It's becoming more restrictive for me to use the water and land, and that's because of policies that are enacted by governmental institutions, and the guise is that they're going to protect the resources for future generations, but actually it's just to protect a particular special interests and not the creator's interest in the land, or the people's interest in the land anymore. Really unfortunate thing, but that's a real leadership problem today. That is the very reason why I adopted a lifestyle that would allow me to develop personally and grow with a relationship with the water that has completely altered my way of dealing and solving problems. So we decided to pray about it. So my spiritual journey has brought me to a point where I've been asked to sit and participate in doing something for the next generations of children. But those are exactly the same. So we went out on the hill and prepared ourselves and fasted, went without food and water. And it's at that point when we really realize how precious these things are when you go without them for a little while. Nobody's forcing you to participate in this kind of activity, to go out, visit with the Creator. It's something that you are inspired to do from within, to see if you can be honest with yourself. Be with yourself and the Creator. and learn about the water and the land so you can protect it even better. I took those exact same questions out on the hill with me, so I asked the Creator, what can we do for my children and the children of my loved ones? And the Creator gave us a ceremony, and we were asked to work with that altar and these ceremonies till a time when we'd be able to take this message to the world through their own children and what they're learning from the ceremony, from the heart. I'm just a real young man. And I really don't know very much at all. But what I did recognize is that through my work, working with the government, trying to bring change to the political structure, that we were going to need help, because the job of cleaning up the new environment and taking care of your families, when we live in a sea of abundance, and the amount of oppression that our children are growing up underneath, there's got to be a solution. The answer is in prayer and ceremonies, bringing that message of discovering that ability in yourself to free your mind so that you can solve problems with the help of the Creator. But nothing's impossible without the help of the Creator. So we develop what's called faith, knowing that patience and the courage and strength that we need as spiritual warriors, the changes that we desire